Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with game number 1 between QXC and Tyler. Both, well, one's from Team Liquid, the other one's from FXO. QXC, of course, coming from FXO. We're going to be on Terminus SE for game number 1.
Should be pretty awesome, man. You know, I'm a big fan of both these players. Got to meet them at some live events. Was pretty excited about it. And, you know, QXC is one of those just players that's been a beast ever since the beta, man. He's just been in the scene, blowing up tournaments like all over the place. Whereas Tyler's someone who actually was amazing back in Brood War and was... I mean, he had a splash in beta where he did pretty darn well, but recently I feel like you know, he had some periods of time where he wasn't practicing quite as much. So I think a lot of people are thinking that he's maybe slumping a little bit recently, but hopefully he'll be able to you know, pull out some awesomeness in this game. I have heard that he's started practicing a little bit more recently, so hopefully that'll be confirmed by some great play from him. You
know, me and you coming from the Brood War scene, we know how ridiculously strong Tyler can be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the guy comes out, he was like semi-retired, he just got married, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm going to play in the TSL 3 and win it.
Yep. Like that easy, man.
Yep.
He's unreal good. If you've never seen him play and you think that Tyler's a bad player because you've only seen him in Starcraft 2 or something, please take our words for it. This guy was such a beast. He had some pretty crazy stuff. He actually had some little minor things about his play that that he had like kind of created that were different from the way I guess like everyone else played. Like one minor thing was that he would always click to create his probes, because back in Brood War you couldn't have custom hotkeys, so you had to hit P to create probes. So a lot of people would use 0, 9, and 8 for their nexuses. Instead, he was able to use 1, 2, and 3. So he could have 4 through 0 for his army. So he could use 1, 2, 3 and just click the probe button instead of using the hotkey. It actually worked out pretty well for him. So he's definitely an innovator. In the beta, of course, came up with a lot of Phoenix-based strategies. Is probably what he was most known for. But it looks like QXC here is going to be going for Gas's expansion, and he did drop down the supply depot. So unfortunately for Tyler, he's not going to be able to get into QXC's base and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, kind of an interesting little thing that we see from QXC. Now, this is a big tell by QXC saying, oh, I have the supply depot that's down before any sort of refinery could actually go down. So, in fact, he does tell what he's doing to his opponent. He knows right now that it's probably a gasless expansion.
Yeah, you know, when you see that supply depot at that timing, generally they would have to put it down just a little bit later if they were going to throw down that refinery. Precisely. So it can let you know, and that's why it's lucky that Tyler did get there that early on with that scout, as opposed to scouting him, you know, last or just much, much later in the game. Looks like he is going to go ahead and throw it on the double gas, though. He's not going to try to go for some type of 1 gas, 1 gate expansion. Now, with double gas, you can still go for a 1 gate expand, but Tyler is definitely one of those players that really, really likes to be able to scout his opponent. He likes to be able to make sure that he's never going to play a coin flip scenario. He's always going to decide what he's doing based on what he sees from his opponent. So often goes for Stargate-based plays for scouting with Phoenixes or Robo-based plays. And look at that, immediately 1 gas going down from QXC after that command center.
No, it was before the command center.
It was before it.
It was before the command center. And what that basically does is it enables him to, it will postpone the command center a little bit, but it makes the stim a little bit shorter.
I could be wrong. I don't think it was before. I was just looking at the time on the building compared to the time that the command center's been up. I could be wrong here. I think the command center was first, though. But, I mean, either way, it's pretty minor. Right. You know, 75 minerals, so whether it was before or after, QXC at least is still going for a quick expansion build. And with that gas, he will be able to get that tech lab, of course, and start getting some upgrades for his infantry, not to mention some marauders.
Now, it'll allow him to get that stim up, which is so important for defense. This is actually a build that he told me before when he was playing against TT1. It's a build that he stole from SC. And he said, you just get that fast stim, you get those Marines in the bunkers, all of a sudden any 6-gate pressures are the most laughable things in the world.
Yeah, you just stim right in the bunker, and all of a sudden you got some really powerful units that don't have to worry about the fact that they might have not quite as much health.
Exactly.
Because they at least have that bunker to defend. But look at that. We are going to see a 1-gate robo from Tyler, and look what he's making, a War Prism. So we're going to see some 1-base War Prism harass from Tyler. Whoa, look how much chrono he has saved up. He was up to almost 100 there, and he is going to use that on that War Prism. But wow, is that a lot of chrono, and I'm very curious to see what he has planned for it. He actually has a, oh my god, he has a robotics bay to get that speed, the gravitic drive, but he doesn't have any additional gateways. So, I mean, what do you think he's going to be doing? It looks like already an Immortal's being queued up, so perhaps he's just going to go for another one of those typical beta-style double Immortal War Prism drops.
Yeah, I think so. Now, look at what QXC is doing. He's actually throwing down an engineering bay in the front here, and what this does is stops Tyler from making the Nexus. More importantly, it gives indication for QXC to know when his opponent is making this Nexus. It's so annoying. Look, that he's actually going to let it finish. I don't know if that's the best decision. He could have just stopped at the very last possible time and then canceled it right when it gets down to a low health. I think that's a little bit of a mistake, but it's absolutely fine. Looks like QXC is just going to go directly for the engineering bay and then a factory right after.
Yeah, we'll be able to get those medevacs out, of course. We'll probably want to get that third gas once he gets that natural up and running. I'm pretty surprised he hasn't moved down and started making bunkers down there, to be honest. But I guess he's just a little bit starved for scouting information right now. He wasn't actually able to get into Tyler's main base. He has no idea if some type of all-in might be coming towards him. Looks like the second Immortal's about to pop out, and Gravitic Drive is getting very close to completing. So very soon here, we're going to see some Warp Prism Harass here from Tyler, and this can be very, very useful. You can use it not only to kill add-ons, you can use it to kill supply depots, SCVs, etc., turrets. You know, with that 6 range now on the Immortals, you can be really aggressive from a range from pretty far away. So you have a pretty good situation set up where you can just do a lot of damage for not too much investment. Now he's taking out a Marine, trying to pick off that SCV. He's got to be careful. He's target firing the Warp Prism, and now, oh no, the Warp Prism too far away. He has to get it, but oh no! Tyler loses the Warp Prism to some absolutely fantastic start set micro by QXC. Think about how big of an investment that is. 200 minerals for the Warp Prism, 250, 100 for each one of the Immortals,
and then 100
for that Gravitic Drive, man. That's a 800, 300 investment that he just lost to a couple Marines. So this is looking terrible for Tyler thus far.
Yeah, Tyler is so far behind now. The supplies just don't do it justice. We do see that the expansion is being taken for both these players. Probe transfer and SCV transfer coming in for Tyler and QXC respective. We do have bunkers going down, but really all QXC needs to do now is just mass up, literally, and push. I'm pretty sure he's in a position where that was a huge loss that's going to affect Tyler pretty substantially. We can see this gateway armor. Look how small that gateway armor is.
It's so small, man. He only has those 2 sentries. Does have a lot of energy saved up, but I like that he's transitioning into Colossi. I think that's definitely a smart move at this point in the game coming out of this, because he already has the tech available to it with that robotics bay. And of course, think about what it's going to force from QXC when he sees that double Immortal drop. He's going to think, all right, well, he already invested in the Gravitic Drive and everything. He might go for another double Immortal drop. I'm going to make a ton of Marines, fewer Marauders, and in fact, we do see him just making pure Marines, no Marauders in production. So those Colossi are going to be extremely effective against just all those clumped up Marines.
Yep, and we do see a little bit of push here. I would like him just to get a third, to be completely honest. He has the advantage in army. He could go and push.
He might be listening to you. Looks like he's going to go drop the third, man.
Sweet, man. I mean, he has the capacity just because he has the relative advantage to his opponent in that army, and there's no way that Tyler can go and push on him. So go ahead and take that third, and look at that. He's actually going to take the third and press out at the same time. This is pretty natural on this, but not normally at this 11-minute time do we see the expansion coming out this fast.
Nice scan by QXC to pick off that observer, and it looks like he's going to drop into the main. 2 medevacs full of Marines now, so he can go for a 16 Marine drop, but it looks like Tyler sees this coming, has some units waiting in the main for that drop, but of course he has to be cognizant of the possibility of an attack on the front as well. But I feel like the fact that QXC just has pure Marine in this army just makes it that much less likely that it can actually accomplish anything and do any damage.
Very true, and look at that. A second starport is going to go down before any additional barracks go down. He's at 4 barracks, so it is pretty sustainable in that respect, and it looks like a little bit of pressure in the front.
See, it's pretty strange, man. He was doing starter set micro and attacking without having unloaded that medevac.
I know.
So he just had like
8
extra Marines
in
that
there.
he's not using.
Yeah. He's just chilling, man.
Yeah,
he
man,
doesn't
just
care.
chilling, having some fun.
Exactly. He's
He's got
QXC.
+1.
Bandana man.
He's got 1-1 about to complete, man.
Whoa.
So QXC is going to be way ahead on the upgrades.
Look at this
Tyler,
Stargate going down for Tyler right now. That is very weird.
Yeah, that's so weird, because generally this could work for the strategy in general. So you can get like, Phoenix Colossus, something like that. You can use the Phoenixes to help deny drops as well. He knows that medevac's outside his base. But, of course, there are just so many Marines that QXC has been making all game. That's going to be a little bit difficult. We see a drop from QXC over the third that Tyler just put down. Tyler apparently not realizing his army's a little bit out of position at the natural. He's going to move it in. The probe goes down. Really be able to get the Nexus, though. Here comes the entire army from Tyler. Looks like he forces the cancel.
Yeah, so we'll just bust out of there, only losing 1 Marine and a little bit of structured damage. in the back. It looks like QXC is just taking this one. Xel'Naga tower is the perfect position. He has his third. He's going to be powering off of this pretty hard. Additional barracks are going down. He's up to 6 right now. And off of 2 starports, he will hard counter that Colossus so fast. As soon as he gets like 12, I would assume he just pushes out and just really starts to put on the pressure.
Yeah, interestingly, Tyler did just chrono his Stargate again, but not actually making anything from it. He's actually up to 800 minerals right now, so definitely needs to work on making sure he keeps his macro up as much as possible. He needs to drop down that third Nexus again. Looks like that Phoenix will be able to force this medevac to die here. Isn't able to save any of those Marines, unfortunately. And Tyler did just completely cut production, so he really just wanted one Phoenix so he could actually just kill off that drop, know he's secure, and use that to deny drops. Also, he can use that. Look at this. He's just going to send it straight in, so he can actually get that scouting information. Nope, maybe he's not going to send it straight in, but you will be able to get some good scouting information and map control with that one Phoenix. And when you think about it, it's not that huge of an investment. You know, just the Stargate and a single Phoenix to be able to know that you're essentially completely secure against any possibility of drops. Yeah,
it's very, very convenient, and it just adds that thing in there like, oh, QXC, stop dropping. And you can do these type of mind games only to like very, very top tier players, because now QXC is going to be like, oh, well, I can't drop because of Phoenixes. That threat is just too much. But look at this, actually going in with a lot of Vikings. He's going to clear out this one Phoenix. And goodbye, Phoenix. It's going to give him a little bit of room to drop right now, but that's a huge tell. I mean, automatically, all the units should be going over there and just intercepting this one drop.
Yeah, Tyler now realizes there are a ton of Vikings on the map. What is his response going to be? I'm surprised he didn't keep up Phoenix production, to be honest.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Colossus going directly into all these Vikings.
No.
One Viking is going to go down. The second one is going to go down. Oh, this is the worst. He just lost.
Oh, my God.
He's going to lose all 6 of them.
Wow. Is he seriously sending it back up the same Oh, my God, Tyler.
Tyler, no.
Oh, this reminds me of the Colossus Scout back in beta. Oh, man. Versus Day 9, dude. Oh. That is terrible for Tyler.
He's going to lose every single one. This army is nothing now.
Yeah.
It's just paper thin.
I mean, he's moving out for an attack, but there's really no reason to. He just got his third base, and he just lost all 6 of his Colossi. If he attacks right now, it will just be a death wish.
Yeah, and look at that. He's just going to go into the bunkers, stim up. Actually, there's not a lot of army.
Yeah, where's his army at? Oh, a lot of it. Well, no, some of it's in the main. I guess he has just invested so much food in those Vikings.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Counterattack into the natural and the third. The Vikings are landing, and along with these Marines and Marauders, are coming up to this natural, and it's going to be a position where Tyler has to push in right now, but you know, even that.
Yeah, he's just going to try to push in through the rocks, man. He's going to break the rocks, go down to the third, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's already a 4th done for QXC at the 6 o'clock, and Tyler, meanwhile, has lost his natural and his third. So Tyler is essentially all in now with this attack. Nice forces going off, isolating some of that army. He needs to get his stalkers away, though. They're taking damage from the upper ground units. He definitely doesn't want to be taking that damage right now from the Marauders on the upper ground. Oh, he's going to lose that sentry as well. That is huge. That sentry had a lot of energy. Has to be a little bit more careful with his placement. He's trying to figure out, although it's so low, but he's not going to get it. Now he's going for SCVs. But going for SCVs at a time like this is a completely wrong decision, because there's simply no way Tyler can get back into this game economically. All he can do is try to defeat the army of QXC, but that has failed, and now it's 163 food to 40 food. QXC literally has over 4 times the food of his opponent.
And this is all, you know, this is not looking good. Well, obviously, Tyler is so far behind right now. Now getting his Colossus over here, and these Vikings are going to engage against this Colossus. No, they're not. They're going to say, nah, I guess I'll just raise up and kill you while I'm in air mode. And just sentries.
Going off, not sure what that was for, but Tyler is just, I mean, yeah, he's just using sentries. Essentially, that's just a mark of a defensive player. You can tell he's just trying to get a lot of sentries so he can throw down forces and just desperately try to stay alive a little bit longer. But, I mean, look at his main. It's, like, completely mined out now. He's long-distance mining from the natural. I mean, he only has 26 probes compared to the 66 SCVs of QXC. QXC is almost maxed now. There is, I mean, I hate calling it GG before a game is over, but
41
this game
supply
is
to
over,
188.
man.
It really shouldn't be going on any longer.
Yeah.
Now you can see the Marine Marauder will be cleaned up, but not before the big stim comes in. Force fields are going to go down, but he literally just moves right next to the sentries. It's going to be GG right here, and Tyler is going to tap out. QXC takes game number 1. So really nothing much to say about that game. It was that 6 Colossus kill to the 8 Marines.
It was all micro.
Yeah.
It was all micro.
It was all micro. He
Tyler
just won
not only messed up his micro on the Colossi, remember the beginning of the game. He lost that War Prism. Think about the damage that his
That's true.
Think about the damage his Immortals did. Think about the investment. It's not just the cost investment, it's actually also the fact that he delayed his expansion, delayed any other tech as well for that War Prism with the 2 Immortals and the speed. And he got there and he killed, I think, 1 SCV,
no,
maybe
like
one
a couple
Marine.
Marines, couple Marines.
A Marine,
yeah,
a couple Marines, and an SCV. So, and then he lost the entire thing. So that was already, he was so far behind from that point in the game. Luckily, he had an expansion up, so he was able to stay in from there. But then, oh my God, his Colossi.
It was the Colossus. Yes.
He literally suicided. Like, I felt bad. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that know what I'm talking about. Like, I played against Day 9, like, back in the beta. I did this thing that was the Colossus scout. I just, like, set him in the middle of the map like an idiot, and they died to Phoenixes, and then I QQ'd and raged. Like, you know, that's like the same thing, man. He had a 6 Colossi, and they weren't defended by the Stalkers, and he just kind of moved them back and forth, and they just, like, died to all of those Vikings for absolutely nothing.
It sucks. It is what it is. But let's go ahead and get into game number 2 and see if Tyler can come back into it. So game number 2 after this break.